guys, thank you for listening to the Talk About Football podcast. This podcast is sponsored by the NFLwire.net. And, if you want to keep track with any NFL news during the week, they update multiple articles a day about all the latest news on the NFLwire.net. So check that out. We're also adding a podcast now every Wednesday, too. We'll be talking about fantasy football, some news that happened earlier in the week, and we'll be talking about our Thursday night predictions. And we hope all you guys can listen and enjoy the Wednesday podcasts. We're going to have podcasts 2 times a week, and I'm your host, JT. Alongside next to me is Chris.
How y'all doing today?
And now let's get started with the results of our Sunday games.
So, I take another win here.
I'm 1-3.
You are 1-3, and I'm 3-1.
So it's looking good for you, but there's still a lot of football left.
I'm gonna take it anyways.
Yeah.
So JT on the losing side, we'll talk about him first. He went 6 of 13. Only 6 right, man. Only 6 right.
Now there's a lot of games this week that really surprised me, and
the Chiefs and Texans surprised the hell out of me.
The Jets going out and beating the Cowboys. Sam Darnold played great coming back. Games like that, But anyway, it was a fun week.
And I went 8 of 13. So
the 4:00 games really got to me.
Yeah, they did.
It was a fun week of football though. It was
great.
Interesting.
It was great.
My favorite game of the week was probably that Chiefs game. I really liked that Chiefs game. I liked how the Texans really. I love how the Texans played.
Deshaun Watson at the end. With the time of possession he had. And, in the second half, only giving Patrick Mahomes 5 minutes of possession of the ball was massive. People think
that's a big defense of confidence right there for the Texans.
Well, exactly. You get stops against Patrick Mahomes and then giving a person like Deshaun Watson, who had a 9-minute drive in the third quarter, had a 9-minute drive. You held Patrick Mahomes off the field for 9 minutes. Again, Chiefs defense is a very big concern for all of us.
Oh, especially the run defense. The run defense, they can't stop the run. Their run defense is terrible.
Giving up 100 yards in the last 6 games.
Yeah.
So week 7 is going to be...
That's not going to fly.
It's week 7, right?
Yeah.
It's... Oh, God. Bro, it's the middle half of football, and I'm not happy because I want football to be all year long.
Me too.
And it reminds me of when football ends, bro. It's going to be a sad day.
It is, but we're going to be bringing podcasts all through the offseason, too. That's not going to stop us.
Come on now.
Still every Wednesday and Saturday we're going to have
Come
podcasts.
on, bro. You know we ain't going to be off that grind yet. But, going to our Thursday night predictions... It's the Chiefs and Broncos game. So who do you have winning the Chiefs and Broncos game?
See, it's in Denver. So what I have is I do have the Chiefs winning one, but I only have them scoring 17 points. I think they'll win 17-13. The Chiefs, like we just said, they're coming off a tough loss last week at home against the Texans. Pat Mahomes was good, but not good enough. So
he was stellar in the first half, scoring 17 points in the first quarter. But then after that, got one score in 3 quarters.
So you got to give credit to that Texans defense. But, besides that, he wasn't good enough in my opinion. We saw that great grab by Tyreek Hill. Amazing. Bro, how was that grab? He got mossed.
Bro, he must have jumped almost at least 1.5 feet in the air, and he's not tall. And he mossed Justin Reed.
Yeah.
Justin Reed
got mossed. You know that show that they do all the got mossed.
Yeah.
Yes.
He got mossed. And Justin Reed is a second-year player. He is a fantastic safety.
He is.
But he was watching
the ball was in his hands.
But he was watching SportsCenter that next morning. He was very upset with himself.
The ball was in his hands, and Tyreek Hill just took it out. Tyreek Hill just took it out of his hands.
But Justin Reed was definitely watching SportsCenter Monday morning.
Catches it, lands 3 yards short, and
then
dives,
fights
for the touchdown.
That's a great touchdown by Tyreek Hill. But I also have the Chiefs winning 31-17. A lot of it's going to come from, again, Patrick Mahomes. The Broncos defense is improving. It's improving without Bradley Chubb.
That's the point I wanted to make.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that the Chiefs are only going to score 17 in this game because that Broncos defense is looking better.
Kareem Jackson coming
Kareem
back.
Jackson. They still got Von Miller, who hasn't been performing.
Better. He's better.
He's been better. He's been better. We've talked about his lack of performance earlier podcasts, but I think I'm starting to see something in the Broncos a little bit on that defensive side. So we're gonna see.
2 straight is good. 2 straight's good.
It is, but I really don't think the Chiefs are gonna lose 2 in a row here.
Nah, they're definitely not gonna lose this week. They did lose 2 in a row because remember they lost the Colts.
Right, so I don't. They're not going to lose 3. No, they're not going to lose 3. They did lose to the Colts.
But my thing is, I think the Broncos will score some points. They're gonna have to run the ball with Phillip Lindsay, Royce Freeman,
and the game's at home. It's going to be cold. We
It's
saw like a foot of
oh my
snow
God,
at
it's
that place
gonna-
Sunday.
it's gonna be really, really, really cold. But again, who's throwing the ball for the Broncos? Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. I mean, the
Emmanuel
defense is going to have to win him that football game.
And Emmanuel Sanders may not even play. He's still questionable to this day.
Yeah.
He may not even play.
I hope the Broncos defense was watching the Texans defense and taking notes because, I mean, if they don't play
Can Joe Flacco run the ball, in sped time? No, he's not going to run the ball.
No.
He's not going to leave the pocket. So, and that's one thing that Deshaun Watson did so well was with that defense is you're going to have to leave the pocket. That defense is going to be playing man across the board.
But for me, just watching Joe Flacco, I just need a couple Advil.
Bro, Joe Flacco throwing the football, man.
No, I mean
something else.
It is. I just think the Chiefs are going to come on top.
100%. Chiefs are going to come out top. And this is going to be a confidence booster because they lost 2 in a row, and the Chiefs are not used to losing 2 in a row.
No,
so this is going to be some confidence.
Very angry team.
Exactly.
Very angry team.
And this is going to be some confidence moving into next week and the following weeks and getting him back in the playoff track. Patrick Mahomes was on another planet in the first couple of weeks. He was targeted to throw over almost 60 touchdown passes and throw for over 6,000 yards. But now he's slowed down a little bit. Matt Ryan caught up to him. And they both are the only 2 quarterbacks right now with over 2,000 passing yards. Patrick Mahomes is slowly degressing. Do you think Patrick Mahomes can get back on track?
100%.
Well, because Tyreek Hill is now back, but Sammy Watkins, their second, is out.
Doesn't
you
matter.
think
Doesn't matter? I think I think the guy's a great quarterback. Doesn't matter for me. I think he's just gonna bounce back. Everyone has a little bit of a rough patch sometime. I mean, I think he'll be fine. I really do. The Chiefs can't hang their heads, or Chiefs fans. I mean, there's still a lot of football to go, and
it's only week 7.
They got their franchise quarterback, and I just don't see him I don't see him falling off. I don't. I really don't. He's got too much talent, too much weapons.
And
got his legs too.
And Andy Reid's calling the plays.
I mean, anybody who has Andy Reid has got to be thankful for that. I mean, he's a great coach. Andy Reid's amazing.
Bro, it's a lot of people forget about the coaching side of things, and when Andy Reid and Colin plays, or even Kyle Shanahan and him developing the 49ers are looking like a Super Bowl team right now.
And I was watching NFL Network earlier this week, and the Chiefs were at practice. The way he runs practice, the way he takes control of practice, you don't want another head coach.
Who, Andy Reid?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. But remember, people forget about this all the time, and people want a better coach. He's a player's coach. Andy Reid's a player's coach. He loves his players. He'll do anything for his players, save his players.
Oh, 100%.
So, Andy Reid is a fantastic coach, but even a better person. And Patrick Mahomes will blossom.
They're a good combo. They work really good together.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So just before we move on, one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you see the Texans and the Chiefs in a playoff matchup? Possibly.
If the Chiefs O-line can get Titus Howard back, then yes. A lot of it comes to O-line and keeping Deshaun Watson and not.
Do you think the Texans win that division they're in?
It's a hard division.
It's very hard.
But
I like the Texans a lot.
I do. I love the Texans. And the Texans, on defense got a little worse with Jadeveon Clowney getting traded.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we're going to see what happens. I just threw that question out there to see what you thought.
It's a good question because the offense is clicking in all cylinders.
Yeah.
You got DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, and Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson are running the ball fantastic. So, you have your players that you traded for and got in the offseason. Now they're developing. Now they're playing good. But now it's all about the
weapons. It's all about who you got.
But it's all about the coaching with Bill O'Brien.
Yep.
And it all comes down to Deshaun Watson's hands and how he is going to take control of the offense. Yep. That's the best I can say.
Good point there. Let's move on. So, a little bit of news, from the Monday night game, Chris, the Packers and the Lions. Trey Flowers getting called for those penalties. Illegal hands to the face on those penalties. Had the shoulder pad. It was the shoulder pad. Those refs, that's a terrible call. I believe the Lions should have won that football game. And,
the Lions came out firing, and I actually fell asleep after the second quarter, like at halftime.
Oh, I watched the whole thing. I was flipping out when I saw those hands to the face. Come on, ref. Get your glasses checked. He had his hands right up under his shoulder pads. It even showed replay of it, and Trey Flowers did talk to the refs about it. And the refs talked to them. They're like, hey, man, made an honest mistake. Listen, you can talk all you want. It doesn't get a win back for your team.
And a light of
and Crosby went down there, kicked that winning field goal,
and then jumped into the Lambeau leap.
The Lambeau leap for a kicker. Come on.
Again, the Lions looked really good at the beginning of the game.
The Lions looked great.
And starting out with the first play with the flea flicker, got everyone messed up with Kenny Golladay. Got like a 63-yard.
Great call by Matt Patricia. Great call to start the game.
He is coming into his own with the head coach. I really like Matt Patricia moving forward.
I really like Matt Patricia too. I really like. See, he was good fit for that Patriots defense, but the Patriots, I feel like he has more potential. Like he could be coaching somewhere else, and that's just what he did. He took the head coaching job at Detroit. He's done really good so far, in my opinion. Should have won a football game Monday night. That's why I brought this up.
They're one of the hottest teams. Right now.
It just ticked me off a little bit about those penalties.
How about almost beating
Trey Flowers?
But how about almost beating the Chiefs and almost beating the Packers, who are both playoff teams?
They are.
With one with a fantastic offense, and Aaron Rodgers is still a threat no matter what. But then beating the Packers, who has a fantastic defense.
Listen, but losing to the Chiefs, that doesn't bother me. They played a great game. Both teams played a great game. The Chiefs
and the Lions should have beat the Packers.
Yeah,
they should have beat the Packers.
About the Chiefs game though, Mahomes went down, did his thing, scored the touchdown, won the game. Packers though, they what were the Lions up by? What, 2? No.
Up to after the field goal, it was 22-23 to end the game.
Yeah. So it was 22-20 Detroit on Green Bay's last drive.
Yeah.
And
stupid calls.
Terrible calls. That's why I brought it up. I believe the Lions just got gypped in that game. I believe they should have won.
But and you can say it comes down to one call. But I'm a person.
Oh, it wasn't one call. It was multiple.
But I'm also a person where you also let the Packers get back into the game. You were up 13-0 at one point.
Right, you were, but but the Packers are going to do that to anybody.
But you let them slowly come back in, and it comes from defense. You let your defense get off your hand, and the Packers came in, they slowly came back, and they slowly came back, and they slowly came back. And then it made it into a game. The Lions should have never left their foot off the gas, and they should have just went even harder. And that's what teams now forget nowadays. And then, second half, they just run the ball, and they just run the ball, and they just run the ball. But then teams get back into the game. Teams get back in when you run the ball.
I get what you're saying.
When Matthew Stafford, for 3 passing attempts, had over 100 passing yards, give him the hot hand. Let him chuck that ball.
Chucking. I agree
That's
with that.
my thing is – Matt Patricia is a fantastic coach,
right?
But he's also a second-year coach and he's learning.
No, but I agree with you on those things. But
The play call.
Hold on. At the very end, listen, you're up 2 points. You know you can't give up a field goal.
And I know the refs blew the game. I get that.
Listen.
That.
It came down to that. You know?
I get it.
Look, 22-20 should have been that final. I honestly think, and I trust me, Chris, I get what you're saying about, they let them come back and everything, but the Packers are going to do that to a lot of teams. The Lions were holding their ground there, and I just feel bad for Trey Flowers on those calls. I just... Those were terrible. Worst calls I've seen all year.
Yeah, I definitely get it, but it also comes back to me. You let the team to slowly come back, and it shouldn't come down to a couple play calls and a couple bad routes.
Yeah, we both have valid points here.
But again, it sucks for the Lions. I think the Lions should have won that game. They dominated at the beginning.
And what a huge game for them in Lambeau.
Yeah,
could be. That's a rival. Detroit and Green Bay.
Yeah.
That is a long-time rival. Steal a game in Green Bay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's why I was making a big deal about all this.
Yeah, I definitely get it.
Yeah. So next, we got to trade Jalen Ramsey to the Rams for 2 first-round picks, a 2020 and a 2021 first-round pick, and a 4th-round pick in 2021. Chris, how huge is that for the Rams? How good is that defense going to be now?
Bro, with Aaron Donald back and, rushing the passer, and you know what? Now you can play man coverage and
not blow coverage.
And not blow coverage, but then you can put a blitz with that. Imagine
100%.
Because Aaron Donald's going to get doubled and triple teamed.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron Donald is going to get covered all over.
But imagine putting a blitz now where you can have a person like Jalen Ramsey cover your best receiver, play man and play a blitz with that. That's what he will do to that team and make Aaron Donald and those linebackers make him blitz. And Jalen Ramsey could end the season off with a ring. That trade right there could just be an answer to get a ring. And with this next trade that you're about to go talk about will help the Rams even more on offense. 100%.
So the Browns trade center Austin Corbett to the Rams. The Rams they get a undisclosed 2021 pick.
Yeah, so the Browns and the Rams have not came out and said that it was for like a 2nd or a 3rd round pick.
Yeah,
but we can
they
infer.
Haven't discussed that yet, but they got Austin Corbett. That's huge on the offensive line.
Well, yeah, and they just lost one of their guards, so now getting their center, who actually was drafted to be a tackle, so who can play almost all 5 positions on the offensive line. Just having someone versatile like Austin Corbett come in, even though the Browns trade him, who the Browns are having a terrible offensive line year.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Just why?
Baker Mayfield is running for his life back there.
I want to talk to that.
Freddie freaking Kitchens strikes
But
again.
not only that, I want to talk to their front office about.
John Dorsey has made some great trades. Got OBJ.
Yes,
Vernon.
he did, but then he turns around and does something like this when your offensive line is just horrendous. Then you trade your center away.
But some news because we're talking about the Browns for a second. The Browns are nearing ideal for Redskins left tackle Trent Williams.
Okay.
So it should help out balance
maybe
it out.
Even a little bit of a balance.
Well, because
but still, you got to keep your center. They build around the center. The guards and the tackles build around the center.
Yeah, I don't know what the Browns are doing in Cleveland at the beginning of the season.
I just want to talk to their front office about that. I want to
Freddie
slam
Kitchens.
their heads together.
Again, I'm not a Browns fan at all. I want the Browns to fail. I am sorry. I'm probably one of those haters.
Well, I don't want any team to fail. I don't want any team to fail. Because I love close games and I enjoy watching football I like good players on each team.
I get it. Yeah.
Don't want that, but that's just bad. That's not a good. That's not a good trade. Not at all.
But then, you move into this next trade here. It brings everything
we got
together now.
This next trade. We got Marcus Peters traded to the Ravens for linebacker Kenny Young and a 5th-round pick.
So I was actually talking to my buddy who works with Sports Illustrated. He writes for the books for Sports Illustrated, Luke Easterling. And me and him were talking. And he looked at me and goes, Why did the Rams just do this? Why?
And you called me up and told me about that too.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, well, one of the things that I gave credit to JT because JT thought Jalen Ramsey was going to get traded to the Ravens.
I did,
and he thought that, and I thought I was like, why?
I said that in the earlier podcast.
Exactly, and I was like, well, why would he get traded to the Ravens? And I thought about it, and now with Tony Jefferson gone, and Jimmy Smith has been hurt and very inconsistent. Getting Marcus Peters should help out their
100%. I love the Ravens. I love the Ravens.
And with the Rams and with another person I was gonna bring up who I'm just gonna skip to right now, but with the Rams putting Aqib Talib on IR, and you want him for 8 weeks, and you want him for 8 weeks. Why would you trade Marcus Peters?
Why?
And then Jalen Ramsey came up at 8:30.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, everything makes sense. Jalen Ramsey all of a sudden is magically healed from his back injury.
Is Jalen Ramsey better than Marcus Peters?
Oh, 100%. But is Jalen Ramsey the best corner in the league? In my opinion, he is. Stephon Gilmore is a very close two.
Yep.
It is Jalen Ramsey and Stephon Gilmore. I still like
Jalen Ramsey. I think he's a little bit better than Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, Stephon Gilmore is a very close two, but no one comes close after that.
Yeah, nobody.
So we're actually going to get into...
Just when you watch the man coverage they play, I mean, it's just...
They are both ridiculous in man coverage. But I think Jalen Ramsey has a slight edge because he's a little younger than Stephon Gilmore. I think Stephon Gilmore has more experiences and big-time situations.
Yep.
But I think just an all-around athleticism and skill, I think Jalen Ramsey has Stephon Gilmore beat just a tad bit.
And that's a great pickup for...
the Rams. It's massive.
The Rams
and Ravens.
And the Ravens with Marcus Peters.
It looks like the Rams are making huge...
It looks like, and the Ravens too. I really like the Ravens. I talk about that every week. I like the Ravens, and I like their defense.
And the Ravens, their defense was one of the question marks this year. Losing C.J. Mosley.
Mosley was huge.
And, losing a few players. And now you come back and you get Marcus Peters, who has been playing all right.
But
he's not...
I think his game's going to step up when he gets to the Ravens. It's it's a new change. It's a different city, new feeling, new uniform. You get to rock the purple. We'll see.
I'm very excited to see
I'm
this.
excited to see him play.
So we got us some news. And there's a lot for just a few days. So some injuries, some suspensions.
Quite a few, yeah.
So we have...
A little odd.
Yeah, so we have Patriots suspend Michael Bennett for a week. Never came out and said what Michael Bennett is suspended for yet. They'll probably come out and
it'll come out the next day or so.
But he's suspended. What did he do, Patriots? Why is Michael Bennett suspended?
For the Patriots to just suspend him, it's got to be something pretty major. I'm curious to see what he's done.
And he's also a personality. He's a big personality on that team. So he's suspended for probably something good.
Yeah, you never know.
Your boy, Brock Osweiler.
Doing
money moves out here. He just came out.
Just retired.
Before we just recorded this podcast, he came out and was like, yo, man.
I'm done.
I'm out of here. I'm going to go play for the XFL.
Yeah,
they're drafting.
Yeah.
I'm going to go play for the XFL real quick.
Brock Osweiler, baby.
But for real, your boy, JPP.
JC Pierre-Paul.
He's practicing.
He's practicing, after that horrific car accident in the offseason, which involved just him, and I think I don't know what he did. Him. I think he ran into a tree, if I'm clear, and he injured his neck. I think he broke his neck. Something weird. Okay, I don't get it. But hold on. But good news for the Bucs that he's coming back. He's practicing.
But look at that D-line now. That D-line's nasty looking with him back in there.
It is. But is it too late for the Bucs?
I don't think so.
No?
Not the way that the...
2-4?
But Sam's been playing good. But look at the Panthers. Panthers have been playing all right. And there's news that Cam Newton will probably take Kyle Allen's spot, which I totally disagree with.
No. Kyle Allen played great in London.
100%.
Yeah.
But so the Titans made a big move. My boy Marcus Mariota just got benched.
He got the leg, and then Ryan Tannehill
gets the start.
The starter.
Bro, how does Ryan Tannehill? How is he even still playing football in 2019?
Ex-Dolphin, baby. Ex-Dolphin.
Bro, he's a baller.
Nashville, you're getting ready to see some fire out of this man.
Bro, he's about to be dealing out here.
About to be dealing, bro. That stadium's going to be packed. Not one seat left. You watch Ryan Tannehill coming in hot.
So big loss for the Bengals.
Oh, man. Well, what else could the Bengals lose?
Big loss. Dre Kirkpatrick, hyperextended leg.
Jeez.
Out for a month.
They're having a hyperextended season.
They damn right they are. That season
how great is it to be a Bengal right now? I'm just kidding. How bad is it to be a Bengal?
I love Cincy.
Stop. Quit. Walk out of here.
Bro, they're rebuilding. We're building for the future. Hey. Next podcast we'll be talking about AJ Green getting traded to the Giants. How about that?
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
I would be so happy to get
AJ
dude.
Green. If you guys got AJ Green, bro, Danny Dimes would.
You know, but just imagine this: you have Sterling Shepard on the inside. You also have Golden Tate on the inside. So you can run a 3 wide receiver personnel, and you have AJ Green catching passes outside. Bro, I'm fine with that.
So just a little bit of a story. 2 Sundays ago, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings watching the football games, and I'm sitting there. I got my wings. I dip it in ranch, right? And then I look up and I see a guy with a Bengals jersey on, right? And he's walking through there with his hat on backwards. He's got a Bengals hat. He's got an Andy Dalton jersey, the authentic one, okay? The one you pay money for with the name stitched in the back.
Bro, he spent like $250 on that thing.
The ranch off my wing just starts falling like on my shorts because I'm just staring at this guy. I'm like, are you kidding me?
You actually spent money on this thing?
Yeah, you spent money, and you're coming here to watch the Cincinnati Bengals play football. All right, do
always gotta represent the team.
I just had to put that out there. The Bengals are just terrible.
So my favorite team, the Cowboys.
Yeah. Being a Giants fan, the Cowboys are your favorite team. Giants fans love the Cowboys.
I hate the Cowboys so much.
Trust me, yeah, I hate the Cowboys too.
But the Cowboys,
not as much as you do.
God, I hate the Cowboys so much. But Cowboys have placed defensive end Tyrone Crawford on IR. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just skip right through it.
Yeah.
So Saints cornerback PJ Williams been suspended for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So he started 5 out of the 6 games over Eli Apple.
Well, yeah, that's a great decision.
So Eli Apple's going to start for the next 2 weeks.
Eli Apple gets burnt by like 10 yards every play.
So
Eli Apple's starting next 2 games?
Yes, he is.
Jeez, don't buy tickets to those games if the Saints are playing at home.
Eli Apple will be starting at cornerback for the next
scoreboard operator will get ready. Click, touchdowns and getting burned.
Bro, Eli Apple is terrible.
Jeez.
But how about the Jets though? Jets getting back?
Oh, Mr. Kisser?
Bro,
he's back.
Bro, he's been playing great, but how about the Jets activating their starting tight end Chris Herndon back too?
Oh yeah.
Who was massive last year for them.
Huge. Yeah, so last year he had a huge year.
So huge breakout season.
I loved watching him play.
So you have Chris Herndon, Robbie Anderson, Le'Veon Bell, Jamison Crowder, and Sam Darnold throwing the ball, who's been looking really good lately. Yeah. Or not lately, last week.
Yeah.
But against a pretty good defense. So I'm very excited to see what Chris Herndon can do in that defense. Maybe take the top off the safety. Help out Robbie Anderson a little bit. Help out Jamison Crowder.
Yeah.
That offense is looking good.
No, they're looking good. I mean, it was one game. We're
but against a playoff team. Against a playoff team.
Correct. You're right. We'll see if he can be consistent. That's the big thing. Consistent is my big word for the New York Jets. Consistency.
Oh, they are 1-4.
And it's like the Bucs. It's like the Bucs. Let's go up to L.A. Let's put up 55. Come back to New Orleans. Not show up. Just go through the motions. Now let's go to London and just wet your pants. Like, come on, man. I mean, 4 penalties at a time, giving up a free kick that almost went through the uprights, but that's not my point.
How about your boy? The Bucs just released your boy,
Bobo Wilson.
Yeah, he's got
well, when you muff three or four punts.
Three punts in 2 weeks, and one was a turnover.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Bobo.
Hey, but he's like the third or fourth receiver in there, too, so he must not be doing good in the receiver game, too.
He's not.
But
have you been watching the guy? Getting confused on his routes. Winston's throwing interceptions. That's natural Jameis Winston. But also...
What, 5 picks in one game?
Yeah, no. Bobo was supposed to run a slant, and then he runs it out or something like that. Like, come on, Bobo. I mean, yeah, Bobo's got to go. Man, we're just having fun. We're just having too much fun today.
But how about the Texans? Offensive tackle, Titus Howard.
Ooh.
First-round pick.
Titus, my boy Titus.
First round pick this year for the Texans. Titus Howard tore his MCL.
Yeah, that's a longer.
It's not an ACL. They're saying.
Yeah, but still,
they're saying he might be able to come back for the playoffs. Might be able to come back for the playoffs if they
make
get there.
the playoffs first.
Yeah. So let's see how Titus does. But how do you think Deshaun Watson's going to do besides behind this offensive line now?
Well, he's going to have – well, listen, I mean, they got the long ball and they got the short game too. I don't think it's going to be a problem. They still got D-Hop, Will Fuller, but good thing he can use his legs. Because his legs are going to bail him out a lot because that offensive line is going to start giving up.
Laramie Tunsil's on one side, who was a great pickup this offseason.
No.
And then during the draft, you got Titus Howard, who they were really good. They're great tackles.
Yeah, they're very good.
But with scratching one off, and you have Laramie Tunsil.
So one side's strong, and the other one's a practice squad.
Exactly. So, with that, how are we going to compensate for like the Texan side? How are you going to compensate? Are you going to put a lot of runs to because Laramie Tunsil's because he's a left tackle, and Titus Howard's the right tackle.
So run to the right, pound the ball to the right.
You're gonna run the ball to the side that Titus Howard is not there anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how that goes. The Bears guard Kyle Long, old Bear.
Kyle Long.
He's on IR now.
Yeah.
And his
Howie Long's son,
Chris Long's brother. Howie. And his contract is up this year. Do you see Kyle Long retiring after this season?
I do.
I do. Or do you see him making an appearance on a different team?
I just see him retiring. See, when I've watched him, I think he's getting slower.
Really?
I think he's getting slower. That's just my honest opinion. He's had a good career.
He had a great career.
Great career, but I just see him retiring. I don't think any team's willing to take a chance on him and pay him. I could be wrong, but that's what I see. And I think he's just getting slower.
And sticking with the Bears, they're starting defensive end. Akeem Hicks is on IR with a shoulder injury, but they don't need surgery. He just needs to sit out, rest it. But without Akeem Hicks in there, can Khalil Mack still be as powerful as he has been?
That's a good question. I say yes. Because
it's Khalil Mack.
And
how about Leonard Floyd? Do you think Leonard Floyd can still,
No.
My thing is I think Leonard Floyd will have a better season than Khalil Mack just for the sole fact Khalil Mack's going to get double teamed.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's
he's going to get double, triple teamed.
No, I understand.
So how about Leonard Floyd coming on the backside of
that?
Backside,
that's what I was thinking.
Well, because Akeem Hicks takes one side and then takes the opposite side of Khalil Mack, which is plays defensive end, and Khalil Mack plays the stand-up defensive end linebacker, and then Leonard Floyd's a linebacker, comes off that side with Akeem Hicks. So with Akeem Hicks not being there, do you think Leonard Floyd is going to get sucked into all that, or do you think with that defense, do you think Khalil Mack's going to get now with a guard and a tackle on him, even with the running back pulling out?
I think you double team Khalil Mack.
Well,
other teams.
You have to, no matter what.
No matter what.
But I just think Akeem Hicks, with being on the IR, I think it really puts the Bears in a tough spot.
It does. And, their defense is the highlight of their team, the Bears.
Because Mitchell Trubisky is freaking awful.
Do not bring that up or else we'll be here for another hour.
Bro, he is terrible.
Yep.
Chase Daniels is a
Okay.
better quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky.
Here he goes, Chris. When you say Mitchell Trubisky to Chris, he's
Bro,
gonna
why
start.
can't the Bears just sign Brock
You see like the
Osweiler?
steam like come out of his ears when you hear Mitchell
Bro,
Trubisky.
you had Patrick Mahomes. You had Deshaun Watson. But then the second pick in the draft, I'm a Mitchell Trubisky guy. But terrible.
I'd buy his jersey just to burn it.
I would love.
Yeah.
I would love to. Mitchell Trubisky. You're not a terrible quarterback.
You're an awful.
Exactly. You're the one of the worst quarterbacks. You have so much to learn, but yet you think you're so good, but you're okay. Next Eagles release linebacker Zach Brown. Who cares?
Who cares? Exactly. That's why I said.
Thank God I got rid of him on fantasy this week and got George Kittle.
Ooh, you got George Kittle. That boy
Seahawks.
5-0.
Yes.
Wonder what it feels like. Must feel good to be undefeated.
Yeah, even your picture not even undefeated. You have 3 losses.
Yeah, no. Yeah, see, I haven't experienced an undefeated season ever. But I mean, being a Bucs fan, I mean, around this time, I'm already hanging up my jersey. I'm checking out for the year.
How about me being a Giants fan?
But I get
Come
I get to be here with you, so that makes up for all.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
Man,
But
we're having we come out and have fun.
Oh, of course, bro. But how about the Seahawks losing someone big on that offense? Their tight end Will Dissly torn
that's
Achilles.
huge. That's huge. Luckily, the Seahawks. I think the who do the Seahawks play this week? I think they got 2 home games in a row though.
Okay, so.
But I don't know. I know they play the Bucks not this week, but the next week, so that'll be a win for them. They can but I don't think it's gonna hurt them too bad. I think
Will Dissly's
how long is he supposed to be out for?
Torn Achilles, bro. He's out for the rest of the season.
Okay, yeah, maybe take that back. I still think the Seahawks are gonna be all right.
Seahawks gonna be
Tyler
great.
Lockett,
DK Metcalf.
DJ, yeah. So,
I think the Seahawks will be fine. Chris Carson, 3 weeks in a row with 100 rushing yards, which fantasy baby, he's been getting me the points.
Big fantasy guys.
He's been getting me the points. Chris Carson, I love you. Hey, Pete Carroll, if you can keep Rashad Penny out a little bit longer, I would.
I love Pete Carroll.
Bro, Pete Carroll can keep Rashad Penny out for a couple more weeks and get me some more fantasy points, bro. I will be loving it.
Pete Carroll chopping on the gum like the fist pump. Walking outside with his grandpa like Nikes on.
Bro, you know what? He's the oldest coach in the NFL, but he's still one of the best.
Yo, he is. He's one of my favorites. I love him.
Too bad he only threw the ball in the end zone in the Super Bowl and didn't run the ball. Freaking Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
And let the Patriots win another freaking Super Bowl. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, we had to get new furniture after that Super Bowl. I mean, so anyway, that's gonna do it for our Wednesday podcast today. Wrapping it up a little bit early. We thank you guys for watching.
We appreciate it so much.
We thank you guys for all the support. Go subscribe on YouTube and go follow us on Spotify. We'll be with you.
Go follow us on Twitter, bro.
Twitter,
go follow our personal
Twitter, Chris's Twitter. Both got Twitter.
The podcast Twitter we upload.
Twitter talking about football.
Come on,
just give it. Help us out, and we thank you guys for the support, and we'll see you Saturday.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, guys.
See you.